The Hall of Fame humbly presents the 2026 Ryan Doyle Courage Award to Ethan Gasteyer. Ethan was a longtime teammate of Ryan's at Minnesota. He went on to attend college at UConn when he was diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2020. During his surgery treatments, that is, he continued his studies, reached remission, graduated with a degree in physiology and neurobiology, and then headed off to medical school. In 2024, Ethan was in the middle of his third year at UConn Health when he received news that his tumor had grown. Despite an intense treatment schedule, Ethan spent the last 2 years writing his book titled When a Bright Spot Darkens Your World. He hopes to have the book published in the next few weeks. Right now, we'd like to welcome Ryan Doyle's parents, Tim and Dee Doyle, to the stage for their remarks and the presentation of this award to Ethan.
I'm going to be quick and just want to thank everybody for coming here tonight, and especially to Chris Wyant for starting this award 7 years ago, and his dad Frank and Matt for keeping it going in the memory of my son. And I'm going to hand it over.
Congratulations to this year's class. Another great class. Chad Pronto, a big horse of a pitcher from UMass that had himself a nice career. Steve McKelvey, another UMass guy. Steve was professor in one of the most prestigious schools in the country and partner at the Diamond Management Group. Howard Herman, sports writer for the Berkshire Eagle for over 38 years, esteemed colleague of Gary Brown. Thank you for providing your view of the game we all love for so many years. The 2010 Amherst High team, great program for many years, always one of the premier teams in the Valley League, and a great run to the championship in 2010. I'd also like to recognize Bobby Bowl. I've known Bobby for many, many years, from playing on the Diamonds when we were younger, to coaching against each other, to finally coaching together on the same team, Wilbraham Post 286. Our kids grew up together. Both Bobby and his son Brett joined our coaching staff for two of the most successful seasons Post 286 has had, winning the league twice. I can tell you about Bobby for a long time, but I don't want to steal anybody's thunder. Dee and I would like to thank Matt Drury, Mike Trombley, Frank and Chris Wyant, Dan, Kevin, Jim Hagan, and anyone else responsible for allowing us to honor our son, Ryan. There's a lot of people in this room tonight who know Ryan. Two of this year's members, Bob Boland and Ethan Gasteyer, are especially close to him, both being teammates of Ryan. Anyone who knows Ryan knows that not only does Ryan love the competition and the sport, but always plays the same way with a smile on his face, playing a game he loves. Even when the pressure was on and the game getting tight, Ryan could always keep the dugout loose and not let the moment get too tight. There would be times when, even though we were in a big game, I would look over in the dugout and see Ryan and the boys either laughing or joking or singing whatever tune was popular at the time. I remember one year before a big game, looking around the field, and the other team was sitting on their bench in silence, while our guys were sung and danced to the song "Call Me Maybe." I knew before the game started that not only were we going to be loose, but the boys would perform at their best level, and they did. It is the same attitude Ryan carried with him during his battle with osteosarcoma, a rare and aggressive form of cancer. Ryan's mom once said she was a coach on a team that Ryan never wanted to be on. I couldn't agree more. You would never know it by Ryan's attitude, though. Always with a smile on his face, joking and playing pranks on the nurses and doctors, but especially making the ones he loved feel comfortable. Never feeling sorry for himself and putting us at ease, even though he was the one fighting the battle. This year's Ryan Doyle Award winner is not only a teammate of Ryan's, but also a classmate and friend. Ryan and Ethan played ball together throughout high school and Legion ball. Two guys cut from the same cloth. When I think of toughness, I think of catchers. In order to play this position, it is a prerequisite. I have been fortunate enough to know some good ones, and Ethan fits the mold. Toughness comes with the territory. Ethan would come to the park not only ready to play, but also with a smile on his face. Ready to play a game that not only does he love, but is pretty good at. Ethan's calling card is hitting. They say if you can hit, they'll find a place for you. And that is true here. During his high school days, Ethan would move around the diamond before finally settling in first base. A middle of the order bat that every coach loves to have in their lineup. You know you're going to get a quality at bat when Ethan was up there, and he usually produced when he was in there. Ethan, unfortunately, has to play on a team he doesn't want to be on either. Not only an athlete, but a scholar. Ethan has been fighting his battle for years. Diagnosed while attending college, Ethan was able to graduate and attend medical school, still fighting his battle, all the while with the same toughness and grit he played with on the diamond. Ryan's award has courage in its name for a reason. You have to be courageous to fight this battle, and you have to be tough. You can't think of the word courage without thinking of toughness. And Ethan not only embodies these characteristics, but he also does it with a smile. This year's Ryan Doyle Award winner, Ethan Gaspar.
Well, I don't have the baseball resume that all these other people here tonight do, but it's an honor to be included among them, and especially an honor to be considered with Brian Doyle's legacy. I can't even put into words how special it is to me. So, as well as the Western Mass baseball community. I grew up playing JLS and against Ryan and the Wilbraham Falcons every year, and they usually beat us. Then I went on to play baseball with Ryan in high school, freshman, JV, varsity, all 4 years. We were together, and that's when I became closer with him and had watched his unfortunate battle, and I didn't realize how much time I'd be learning from him. But now I think about him every day and think about how to be strong, how to keep a smile on my face. I went to UConn after, go Huskies, and I studied for my pre-medical studies, then went on to medical school at UConn. And along the way, I was diagnosed with brain tumor and had to step aside from medical school for a bit. But along the way, I've had amazing support in this community and I've undergone surgeries, chemotherapy, radiation, clinical trials, you name it. They've thrown everything at me. And I try to maintain the positivity as best I can. And like I said, Ryan's a huge inspiration to me every day. I started writing down just journal entry thoughts about my day-to-day as a brain cancer patient, and it slowly became a book, so I'll be releasing that very soon, which is an exciting step. And like I said, Western Mass baseball has been a big part of my life. I played on one of those great post-286 teams that Tim was talking about for Tim Doyle and Donnie Laware and Bob Bull. And JLS, miniature baseball, Legion, it's all been an important part of my journey. And now, I just watch my Yankees. It might not be most popular here, but that's where I'm at now. And I'm going to Germany for a new treatment. They took my tumor, made me a special vaccine just for me to try to train my body to fight it. So we're still going on fighting. I still draw inspiration from Ryan every day. Soon after my first surgery, the Doyles came and visited me and provided me a very generous donation. Excuse me, I have to forgive my voice. And I said, wow, this will be great. I can start saving up for med school. And Tim said, absolutely not, I want you to do something fun with it. So I went and bought myself a Callaway driver and a 3-wood. Can't say they've helped me much, but great addition to my back. And so thank you all. It's a tremendous honor. I can't even put it into words, but thank you to the Doyles. Thank you to Western Mass Baseball Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Tim and Dee, and thank you, Ethan. Keep up the fight.